health is wealth. I trust that everybody is doing as well as you can be by way of your choice, and that you are not, battling up against circumstances that are outside of your control. But even if you are, may you come into the understanding, if you don't already have that understanding, that though you may not be able to control those particular circumstances at this immediate time, you can in fact always control how you choose to respond to those conditions that may be outside of your control. And this is just a conversation that I wanted to add to my page, because I'm meeting a lot of different people in a lot of different virtual spaces who are trying to do better, who are taking matters into their own hands, and deciding to make healthier choices for them and their family. And to those who fit that description, I want to commend you. Shout out to y'all wherever you may be, city, state, or country. And that's what really inspired me to want to, speak on these topics, right? Because I've been plant-based for over 10 years. You will often hear me say that, but I'm not a plant-based preacher. Making healthier choices in your life right now may not have, anything to do with you becoming a full-fledged plant-based vegan vegetarian practitioner. Naturally, I'm going to speak from a plant-based perspective because I am plant-based, but I have not always been plant-based. And I understand that everybody is at different stages of, your growth and your development stages or phases. So I don't want to exclude anybody. If you had a high cholesterol score and your LDL was through the roof and you brought it down, whether or not if you are plant-based or not, that's a health improvement, because you have improved upon your circumstances. If you haven't been working out and you started walking, you started to do your workout exercise, that's a healthier improvement. Any time our thoughts and our actions begin to move us in a healthier direction, that is when the actual journey begins. That's when the correction begins. And the end game or the destination may very well lead you to becoming plant-based, or it may lead to you losing some pounds and keeping it off. It may include, you giving up certain meats like pork or red meat like beef or what have you, and just doing chicken or turkey. You may say, hey, you know what? I want to be an aquatarian. My point is, you have to be realistic with yourself. You have to be realistic inside of your mind, because nobody is with you when you're by yourself. When you are tempted to go outside of a commitment to yourself, you're not doing it for anybody else. And the reason why I'm saying that is because in a lot of cases, people, you get on a journey, but you get on a journey sometimes for the wrong reasons. But what I will say, if you do happen to move into the plant-based vegan vegetarian lane, you're not going to initially have maximum support from the people that you know, love, and care about. And I think that that's what knocks a lot of people off the horse, so to speak, because it's only natural it's only natural for you to want to get support. It might be your spouse, it might be your children, it might be your family, or whoever. It may be your peers. But what deters and discourages a lot of people is, prior to us taking on that mindset of saying, hey, you know what, I want to do something in a healthier way, we don't really realize how much of a centerpiece food and drink is when it comes down to social settings, going out to eat, restaurants, family gatherings. You get the picture. And once we begin to actually make these changes, that's when it all kind of like hits the fan. Because now you're no longer partaking of the same foods as the people that you already know. And that can put a lot of social pressure on you to say, wow, okay, I'm the only person, at the table or at the restaurant. Because it's not like just because you change your eating habits or the way how you choose to live, it's not like you're going to just like disown the people that you've known all your life just because you're choosing to do something in a healthier way, for yourself. So there is a lot of social pressure. And that's the reason why you have to know why you're doing what you're doing. Because if it's just a trend or it's something that, you just trying out, I think that in a lot of cases that's going to be short-lived. But for those that are truly committed, you just have to develop a mindset that says, hey, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm choosing to do for myself. And it gets to the point where you're going to get tired of explaining yourself to other people. And, in a lot of cases wherein I've been asked, why did you do this or why are you doing that? I have got to the point wherein I would ask them, well, why do you want to know? Right? Because in a lot of cases, people just want to know just to know. It's not because they're thinking about doing it for themselves, but it's just that they're seeking to try to understand you. But there's a responsibility that comes with the truth. Because if I begin to detail what I know about about certain things, it may not be the most favorable conversation that people who partake in those particular types of choices or habits or way of life might want to hear. So I'm like, sometimes you just have to, ask people, well, why do you want to know? Is it because you're seeking to embark upon this journey, or do you just want to know just to know? And if it's just a matter of them just wanting to know just to know, you can stitch in a disclaimer saying, hey, well, you may not really want to know why I'm choosing to do what I'm choosing to do for myself, because it may very well turn you off or it may infringe upon the things that you like to do. Because there's no easy way to tell people about what's happening to the chicken, what's happening to the fish, and what's happening to the beef, and what pork is, and what it does to the body, right? So where respect is expected, respect has to be given. So I think that those are some of the social challenges that you're going to come across when it comes down to the people that you've already known throughout your lives. Some of them, they might have like little slide remarks to say. They might have, you may feel like you're always on the shooting range because you're seeking to try to do something better for yourself. But allow me to speak to that as well. In a lot of cases, people see you doing something for yourself that they may very well want to do for themselves, but they just have not gotten to the point in their lives wherein they have the self-discipline or the real true desire to really do what they want to do inside of their own lives. So when they see you doing what they may very well intrinsically want to do, it kind of puts indirect pressure on them being inside of your presence. Y'all might be out to eat and they see you ordering, you might order a salad or what have you that caters to your desires. And sitting across from you or at the same table from you, or with you rather, I stand corrected, they see healthier decisions being made that somewhere inside of them they would like to be making those decisions for themselves. So they may ask you questions like, is that all you're gonna eat? Or they'll ask you something pertaining to what you're doing, because they're actually paying more attention to what you're doing than they are paying attention to what they're doing. And based off of what they're doing, there's something that's speaking to them on an innermost level that's saying to them, hey, you know what? I need to be doing better. But what we as individuals have to realize is that it shouldn't be taken as an infringement, nor should you take it as an infringement upon what you're trying to do better for yourself, when other people try to make you feel subconscious about what you're doing. Because what they're actually projecting upon you is their own inner conflict. And it can come out in different ways. And it may come to a point wherein you may get tired of it. And, hopefully you'll be able to make that sociable transition in a way that's respectful. People that really love you and respect you and take you seriously are going to respect your decisions as an individual in order to start doing things better for yourself. But if it gets to the point wherein, it becomes a burden for you, then you may very well start to decline some of those invitations. If food and things like that, are going to be a part of it, like going out. It depends on how thick your skin is. Because in all walks of life, you have to mature if it's something new. So if you're a baby at that, meaning you're a novice, it's something new to you, then you may have to incubate yourself and isolate yourself within inside of that stage. No different than a plant that's not ready to be planted outdoors because it can't handle, the environment. So be mindful of these things. Read. There's a wealth of information out here now that, is readily available for free. Or, YouTube is, it pretty much bounces back to you what you put into it. So whatever you type in, plant, whatever. Like I said, I'm plant-based. So if you're striving to be plant-based, you would type in plant-based style recipes to try to help you in regards to learning how to prepare different meals. But, whatever your healthier is, focus on that. And wherever that path leads you, make sure that you align yourself with people that are on the same path and on the same journey. So that way you can garner or develop or obtain the level of support that you're going to need along the way. Because, if you don't do that, then you can become a victim of other people's opinions about what you're trying to do or what you're doing. And I think that within inside of itself is the tragedy. But, just know that it's not something that you want to just do sometimes. Make your mind up that, it's going to become a permanent part of your life if it works. And, make your mind upset. The same thing with the minerals for your water, the supplements, or what have you. It could be exercise, whatever it is. You have to be willing to make a long-term commitment that says that you're willing to go through the process and you're willing to get caught up in the becoming of what you're setting out to become. People from your past only know of your past. So there are going to be times wherein you're going to come in contact with people who once knew you within inside of a particular phase of your growth and your development. That's the only chapter that they have. So that's the only chapter that they know. You know, they can't be held accountable for that, but at the same rate, you don't have to be subjected to that. It may be a person that knew you when you was 50 pounds heavier. Now you might be 50 pounds lighter. If they were not there throughout that process of that mind, that mental, physical, and internal transformation, then they don't know about what you had to go through in order to become who you are today. But you're not obligated to be who they want you to be. You're not even obligated to provide explanation, because the evidence of what has been produced is evident. Some people are going to, want to meet you where you're at right now, and then there are going to be people that are going to choose to remain stuck, in the chapter of when they once knew you. That's also a choice. And in a lot of cases, the people from your past, prior to you embarking upon your journey, some have grown in certain ways and some have not. That's not your obligation or responsibility in order to prioritize the growth processes or the lack thereof of other people. So my message to those who, are striving to do better, keep doing your thing. Make sure that throughout the transitions, you don't become vitamin and mineral deficient. Make sure you hydrate your bodies properly and effectively on a cellular level, and respect the process and understand that there's always going to be something new that we are going to have to learn. That's why I say forever the student. And it's through that process of learning that we will in fact continue to transform, to grow in the ways that we choose to. Because it's not just all about knowing, it's about the consistency and the right application of what we have come to know, predicated on the fact that the information is right and exact. Because it is possible to get caught up. It is possible to get caught up in being consistently incorrect, or being consistent at applying what one knows incorrectly. Right? There's a lot of information that have been obtained and gathered and sifted through, tried and tested. Some have tried and been tested and turned out to be true, and some has not. That's the process. So, if you have to have an open mind when it comes to your growth, because information that you may have gotten 2 weeks ago or 2 months ago or 2 years ago the conditions are constantly degenerating. It may have to get tweaked, it may have to get adjusted, or it may have to get thrown all the way out the window and replaced with new information that have proven itself, or that proves itself to be more accurate and more effective. So focus on your water, your cellular hydration, your mineralization. I've been putting the posts out. Regardless of what kind of eating habits you have, the soil has been mineral depleted and made deficient in a lot of cases with a lot of minerals that our bodies need. We have meetings every week. So for those of you that want to educate yourselves, tune in, tap in, and, make that choice and that decision for yourself. Stay consistently learning. Be consistent in studying, what you need to know, and keep updating and upgrading your mindset And the knowledge base, just like how you update apps and update your phone and programs and all of this other stuff out here. Because what might have worked 50 years ago it is most likely not going to work now. So you got to keep making the adjustments. And with that, peace and blessings, health is wealth. Tuesday, Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, we got meetings. You get in the invites if you want to plug in, if you want to step your hydration and mineralization and alkalinization game up. The invitation is always open. And with that, I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace. And for those of y'all that are doing what y'all got to do, forever striving to be a better you, hey, keep doing your thing. Don't let nobody's opinion get in your way. Don't let nobody's critique get in your way. And along the way, you will meet your likeness and those that will support you and help you to continue to grow stronger with inside of you becoming a better you. And I'm out.